This is FYI, a public affairs program of Strong Tower Christian Media on 93.7 The Light and Hope 100.7.
And hello, I'm JT Bircham, honored to host FYI. And every week I get the chance to talk with interesting people about fascinating projects around Ohio. Today, right here in Xenia, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, talking with Andrew White. Welcome, Andrew. How are you today?
I am absolutely fantastic, JT. And I really appreciate Strong Tower Media giving me the opportunity. And you set the bar high. I've got to be interesting, unique, and engaging. And man, that's a high bar. So I better get my act together.
I have no doubt today you're going to be entertaining. First of all, you're teaching me a new word, apologetics. Now, yeah, I've heard the term thrown around, but for those who have never heard it, what is Dayton Apologetics and what's the word apologetics mean?
Okay, so I'll start with Dayton Apologetics. Dayton Apologetics is a relatively new nonprofit. We're an official nonprofit in the greater Dayton area. And basically, we major in the equipping and training of Christians, that's adults, young adults, students, in the area of cultural apologetics, particularly training and equipping and informing for worldview and essentials training. So Christians can go out into the culture, go out into their workplaces, their neighborhoods, their churches, their youth groups, their ministries, schools, all the above, and they can be competent and confident in contending and defending the Christian faith.
All right. Okay. There we go. Now now I'm with you. So you're helping teach me how to defend my faith in public culture. It kind of sounds like apologetics.
Yeah. So we're the ground zero, the epicenter really of discipleship in the 21st century is apologetics. Now, apologetics comes from the Greek word apologia. Okay, it comes basically from 1 Peter 3:15, and it really just means for the average Christian to defend and contend for the faith with truth and graciousness. Okay, and our blessed hope, which is Christ. So we are all, and it's not really a divine suggestion. It's actually we're commissioned in the Great Commission to be ambassadors, to be disciples. And in the Great Commission, we're not called to make converts, we're called to disciple. And so to be a disciple maker, you have to be an authentic disciple, an ambassador. And to do that, you got to know what are the attributes. And one of those big attributes in the 21st century, let alone in the first century, is that you have to be able to tactfully, graciously, and articulately defend and contend for the faith.
Yeah. I believe there's a scripture says, study to show yourself approved. That's probably part of your curriculum. So.
Absolutely. And another couple of verses there, Jude verse 3 and 2 Corinthians 10:5 are very famous apologetics-based verses. And so all they do is they give you guiding principles and a commission to go out. And again, it's a combination of truth and grace or love. Truth without love is not what God's talking about, and love but not telling the truth is not what God's talking about. It's the perfection of those two together that we defend and contend, which is the story of reality.
Yeah, and what a challenge we have in today's culture. Culture has gone array. And so we certainly have our marching orders set for us to be educated to be able to defend the faith. So thus we get into Dayton Apologetics. Now, that's an organization, I'm guessing, that is doing just what you mentioned. How did you first get involved with, and how did you come about the seminar we're getting ready to talk about also?
Well, it was a meandering road. I'm a 34-year veteran of education, public education. I've been a teacher, a coach, an advisor, and an administrator for the last 34 plus years. I love to study. I love to learn. I like science and history and archaeology and forensic, like all of that. So I had a natural love for that. God built that into me. And I was doing it in the education sphere at a lot of different levels. And then I met about 10 years ago a gentleman, Dave Nadestep, and he really is the grandfather of our organization. He's a part of our board, one of our main mentors and teachers of our organization. And about 10 years ago at Christian Life Center, with many of our people in our group, or that's their home church, I took a class called Tactics, and many people that are listening might know Greg Koukl and Stand to Reason. That's one of his seminal books. In fact, he's going to be one of our keynote plenary speakers. And so he really, his book in Tactics, which is the methodology, biblically based methodology for engaging people in the culture, both Christians, baby and mature Christians, non-Christians and skeptics and atheists that would not agree with our worldview and our point of view. And so I took that class with Dave teaching, and over time we taught more classes at CLC, and they were gracious enough to really get behind it. And then we formed a first group about 7 years ago that one of the discipleship pastors, Pastor Stewart, put together. And we did a lot of different events, like at Easter, at Christmas, and different things, and did some classes that were really well received. And then as we got further along, Greg Koukl came to Christian Life Center right after COVID, and he really encouraged us. He spent a lot of time with us and said, you guys need to plant where you are, bloom where you are, and you need to form a nonprofit, and you need to develop a mission and a vision, and then some goals, and then go out and start planting, not just teaching in your home church, but then planting and extending into other churches, other parachurch and ministries, youth, adult, young adult, schools, businesses, and other Christian entities, and expand your footprint because you've got enough talent, enough ability, enough wherewithal that you can go beyond just your home church walls and do it and expand the kingdom at the same time. And so we took that to heart, and that was 3 years ago. And so we've been an organization that, again, a nonprofit officially for about a year. People might remember the Unshaken Conference last January with Frank Turek, Elisa Childers, and Natasha Crane. That was our organization. We've done some small and medium-sized events in the last couple of years. That was our largest of note, and that was attended by about 1,100 people, 40 different churches, 4 or 5 different Christian schools, 12 plus different nonprofits. People came from 15 different states and Canada to that event, and it just blew the sponsors, the speakers, and a lot of the local leaders away that there was that much interest in apologetics and tying it in with discipleship and the things the church and parachurch is dealing with.
Yeah. Which brings us to, you're doing another great event here, February 16th and 17th at the, Legacy Christian Academy or Athletes in Action campus. Tell us about this event coming up just not too far away.
Well, this is exciting because we took what we learned from the Unshaken Conference, which is absolutely just was an A+++ experience. And we took those learning lessons, and then we decided, hey, we'd like to do 1 or 2 of these a year. And God has kind of given us a vision that we're going to target leaders in the greater Dayton area and beyond, particularly of 15 to 25-year-olds. So if there are people listening right now and you're a senior pastor, a discipleship pastor, a youth pastor, a young adult pastor, if you're a lay leader, an elder, a deacon, or you're a teacher, a small group leader, targeting those groups, if you're a public school Christian that is an administrator, a teacher, a counselor, whatever, or you're in the private school and you're a head of school or a board member, something like that, or you run a Christian entity of some type, of parachurch or nonprofit, this conference is for you, because our goal in this conference was to bring 3 of the very best, top-notch, cutting-edge apologetics speakers, and that's Frank Turek, crossexamine.org, Elisa Childers, elisachilders.com, and Greg Koukl, Stand to Reason, str.org, and to bring them to one location in the Midwest, get it on a campus that is a known Christian entity like Athletes in Action, an international ministry of Cru, partner with them, take a local Christian school, because that's the epicenter of the 15 to 25-year-olds, put those together with our organization, and then almost do like a field of dreams. Go out, promote this, and they will come. And you know what? It's been unbelievable, JT. It's been absolutely, and it's blowing away Cross-Examine and Lisa and Stand to Reason. And it's blowing away a lot of the churches we're talking to, the nonprofits. Right now, we are targeting 20 to 30 nonprofits, of which about 16 or 17 have confirmed. And these are Greater Dayton, Southwestern District of Ohio, or Ohio entities that are all Christian, all different types of nonprofits and ministries, and then also regional and national to one location. And again, our premise is, and God's nudge to us, you get leaders, 900 of them in one room with a Holy Spirit-filled message about ministry, the culture, and 5 critical issues that we face in culture and in ministry and in the church. You get people together, the message is on point, and you get the description right and the prescription right, you move mountains. You absolutely impact the local and regional church at all levels. And those 5 issues are pretty simple issues. Let me unpack those real quick. Number 1, salvation. Number 2, life. That's been in the news lately. Yep. Number 3, marriage, biblical marriage model, and the model of that, and family. Number 4, sex, morality, ethics, and number 5, identity and gender. Now, none of those, I don't think anybody would have any issue with saying those aren't, right in the middle, the crosshairs of culture, and right in the middle of ministry. And the church and all of its entities have to be informed, resourced, and equipped and trained to go out and engage the culture where the culture is. And these are the main issues. And you can add in there ethnicity, tribe, race, and reconciliation as a 6th. But of all these, if we're not dealing with this as a church and we're not engaging it in an articulate, effective manner, then we're behind the 8 ball. The culture is lapping us. And so this is the 21st century core of discipleship. And that's not me speaking. That, I'm just a Yahoo from Inglewood that's helping run a ministry. It's the people like Barna, Family Research Council, Focus on the Family, Answers in Genesis, and all these are. They're saying that. I'm not saying it. I'm just repeating it for our local area, and we're the tip of the spear in this area.
I hear your challenge to the church to gather, educate, and stand up.
Absolutely. Man, you said it better than I did.
Well, no. You prepped me there. You prepped me for about 12 minutes. So thank you very much. Okay. Hey, we are coming close to out of time. You've inspired us. You've challenged us. Again, your event is February 16th and 17th, Athletes in Action. They can register at the station website, or they can go to DaytonApologetics.com to register and get involved. I hear you saying seats are flying quickly, huh?
They are. And if I may interject, just real quick, there's a couple of things built in that I want to make sure people know. First of all, Athletes in Action and Legacy Christian are 2 of our partners, have absolutely been fantastic. So if you don't know or not connected with either of those, please get on the website, get on their social media. They have just opened their doors. They are embracing this. Number 2, there is a VIP luncheon that's right in the middle of the Saturday. So it's a Friday night, 6:30 to 9:30. You have 3 plenary speakers, Frank, Elisa, and Greg. And then on Saturday, the doors open again, 8:30 in the morning, and go all the way to 4:30, 5 o'clock. In the middle of that Saturday is a VIP luncheon. So general admission tickets, $50. VIP tickets, $100. But with the VIP, you get a general admission, you get preferred seating in the conferences and the breakouts. You get a special, elegant, intimate lunch with the speakers. You get a special presentation and Q&A. You get a signed book and a picture. And then finally, for all those leaders, for people at the conference and maybe some that can't make both days or one of the days, there is a leaders roundtable, and we're going to target about 75 leaders in the greater Dayton and Ohio and the tri-state region area. And we're going to put executive directors, senior pastors, VPs, things like that, of all different types of Christian entities. That's a free event. That's free. And it's inserted into the Saturday. And we're going to have a dialogue about what's going on in culture, what's going on in ministry, and how can we do ministry better for the kingdom together.
Awesome. Andy White, thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate it. Encourage folks to get involved. Again, DaytonApologetics.com. Andy, loads of fun. We are out of time. Thank you.
Thanks, JT. God bless everybody.
This is FYI, a public affairs program of Strong Tower Christian Media on 93.7 The Light and Hope 100.7.